Hi, I'm Bill, the Domestic Monk. Welcome back to another video, and thanks very much for watching. So many of you may have heard of Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster. She's the founder of the Benedictine Sisters of Mary, Queen of the Apostles. They're from a monastery in Gower, Missouri, whose body was discovered incorrupt after being in the ground for 4 years. When the incident happened, about this time last year, I wanted to make a trip up there, but it's about a 12-hour ride from my house in Tennessee, and I just couldn't line it up with my schedule at the time. Providentially, about a week ago, I assisted our deacon with a retreat for a couple of young men from the Knoxville Diocese who were discerning becoming seminarians. The retreat was held at the beautiful Conception Monastery in northern Missouri. This is an unusual seminary in that the diocesan seminarians are formed by Benedictine monks. I learned that a couple of notable priests were formed there, including servant of God, Father Emil Kapaun, a native of Kansas, and an army chaplain who served in World War II and in the Korean War, where he was captured and eventually martyred due to the living conditions he and his fellow POWs were subjected to. I have been reading a biography about Father Kapaun called No Bullet Got Me Yet by John Stanifer, which is fantastic and I highly recommend it. Another of the notable graduates of Conception Monastery is Blessed Father Stanley Rother, and he's a native of Oklahoma who served as a missionary in Guatemala, and he was also martyred in 1981 after refusing to abandon his flock during the Guatemalan War. I look forward to reading the book about his life entitled The Shepherd Who Didn't Run. Besides a seminary, Conception Monastery serves as a retreat house as well. So if you're looking for a peaceful place to make a retreat, Conception would be a great place to go. We left at 6 a.m. and on the way up we discovered that Mother Wilhelmina's Monastery in Gower, Missouri and Conception are only about 45 minutes apart. So we decided to stop there on the way up. We hope to have an opportunity to participate in Vespers or evening prayer with the nuns, but that happened at 5 o'clock, and after a long day of driving, we got there at 7 p.m. with only 30 minutes to spare before they closed up the property for the night. We were able to view the beautiful monastery chapel where the body of Sister Wilhelmina is on display. It was really pretty cool to be able to see something like this in person and right here in the United States. For those not familiar with the phenomenon of incorruptibility, the Catholic Church considers this condition an indicator of holiness. This discovery was really quite a surprise because most people not connected to the monastery knew nothing about Sister Wilhelmina until her body was discovered uncorrupt last year. It would be remarkable enough if the body of someone like Saint Mother Teresa or Saint Padre Pio were discovered preserved like this, but no one really had any expectation of that here. Sister Wilhelmina died in 2019 and was buried on the monastery grounds. This is common with the religious, but especially common for founders of religious orders like she was. Her body wasn't embalmed and she was laid to rest in a simple wooden casket. And that may have been the end of it, but a water leak near her burial place required her body being moved to another location on the property. When the sisters who were digging her up by hand and with shovels, which is easy to believe when you see, as we did upon our arrival, one of the sisters mowing the lawn, riding a zero-turn lawnmower. At any rate, the casket was decomposing, and when it was moved, one of the sisters observed that her hand appeared to be completely intact, despite being in the wet ground for 4 years. They looked inside and discovered that her whole body appeared to be intact and incorrupt. Last summer, the place was crawling with pilgrims after news of it began to spread. So it was better for us that we waited, because besides the sister mowing the lawn and the one we spoke to in the gift shop, we had the whole place to ourselves. We took some time to pray before the altar and to visit with Sister Wilhelmina's body. The veil used to cover her head was in a display case right next to the body, so we were able to touch our prayer cards and our rosaries to it. In the event she's one day declared a saint, these will become second-class relics. And best of all, because we had our deacon with us, we were able to get them all blessed right there on the site. Then a few days later, Eli and Gerald, the two seminarians from the Diocese of Knoxville, took us over to Clive Monastery. It's another Benedictine monastery just a short distance from Conception. This monastery is home to religious sisters, and we got to tour their beautiful chapel, but even better, it's the home of one of the largest reliquaries in the United States. This place was amazing. I thought I saw some pretty impressive relics back in 2021 when my wife and I had the opportunity to visit the National Shrine of Our Lady of Champion in Wisconsin, home to the only church-approved Marian apparition in the United States. And they were impressive, including relics of many of the apostles. But this place was next level. Both walls were lined with cases holding the relics of practically any saint you can imagine. St. Catherine of Siena, St. Teresa of Lisieux, St. Francis of Assisi, St. Benedict, as you might expect at a Benedictine monastery, and many, many more. They even had a relic from the True Cross and a relic from the Crown of Thorns. This was a great little retreat and pilgrimage. I always say that as Catholics we have to know, love, and live our faith. One great way to do that is to go on retreat and visit some of the churches, monasteries, convents, and abbeys in the area around you. Many people never get the opportunity to go to Rome or the Holy Land, but you don't have to. We belong to the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. There are opportunities for pilgrimage right where you are. All you have to do is seek them out. While living in California, I got the opportunity to visit many of the missions built under the leadership of St. Junipero Serra. And he's the inspiration, of course, for my tagline, Siempre Adelante. From the mission in San Juan Capistrano near our house to the San Rafael Archangel Mission north of San Francisco, we got to visit many of those great churches. In our trip across the country in 2021, my wife and I also got to visit the National Shrine to St. Joseph in Wisconsin, the Loreto Chapel in New Mexico, and one of the beautiful painted churches of Texas in Fredericksburg, among many others. Just south of us here in my home state of Tennessee is the beautiful Saints Peter and Paul Basilica in Chattanooga, where the body of servant of God, Father Patrick Ryan, is laid to rest. He's yet another American currently under review for elevation to the sainthood. And just a few hours north of us is the renowned Gethsemani Abbey in Kentucky, formerly home of the famous Catholic monk and author from the last century, Thomas Merton. I want to make it up there one day for sure. We have an amazing faith. It is so rich, so diverse, and overflowing with opportunities to grow in your faith. All you need to do is take advantage of it. I challenge you to journey deeper into your faith. I can assure you it'll be worth the effort. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like the video and share it with others. So thanks very much for watching, and as always, Siempre Adelante.